Welcome to the future. The future is totalitarian. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, what do you think of V.S. Naipaul's Suffrage of Elvira? I thought it was a fantastic book. Naipaul really has the rare talent to write in a comedic way about serious matters and to be somewhat cynical as well as understanding of its characters at the same time. I'll give a brief synopsis of the book. The Suffrage of Elvira is about the second democratic elections of Elvira, which is a district of the island of Trinidad. And as you may or may not know, Trinidad lies northwest of Suriname in South America in the Atlantic Ocean. The year is 1950 and the population in the district, or the people that are allowed to vote, consists of 8,000 people. That is to say 4,000 Hindus, 1,000 Muslims, 1,000 Spaniards and 2,000 blacks. The story begins when one of the candidates, Suripat Harbans, or simply just Mr. Harbans, arrives in Elvira to start his campaign to be elected in office. On his way to Elvira, he encounters a bad omen. Two bad omens, actually, as he almost runs over two Jehovah's Witnesses, two women, young women, and he almost hits a stray dog with his car. That is the beginning of a series of unfortunate events for Harbans, who should be the clear favorite candidate for these elections. As it's put simply in the book, Harbans is a Hindu, so the Hindu voters, the 4,000 Hindu voters, will vote for him. And he also made an alliance with the Muslim leader Baksh and with the rich Hindu Chitanyaran, who assures him the Spaniards will vote for him. Only the blacks will probably not vote for him, as the opposing candidate, the preacher, who is a Christian, is also a black. Things, however, take a bad turn when one of the Hindus starts working for the preacher, and Harbans has a hard time convincing people to actually go voting, and if they go voting, to vote for him. The democracy is new in Elvira, people don't really understand what it is, and they don't know why they should vote or why they should vote for Harbans. So he has to buy the votes, basically, and first he has to buy the vote of the Muslims, which makes him very blackmailable. So he goes to Baksh, the leader of the Muslims, and he has to make his son his actual campaign leader and has to pay him. And he should also invest in a sound car, he should also organize a parade in his honor, and he should also invest in a printing company to ensure the vote of the people working there, etc., etc. To make matters worse, the Jehovah's Witnesses, who he almost run over with his car, try to dissuade people from voting, as democracy is a godless form of government and therefore not legitimate. Harbans is stuck in a web of greed, religious differences, ignorance and also superstitions, such as the belief in Obeya or Obey. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but I looked it up. Obeya, according to Wikipedia, is a system of sorcery and religious practices developed among enslaved Western Africans of Igbo origin. In this book, Obeya boils down to a belief in the supernatural, basically. In this case, it's about a dog, a stray dog, a young dog that was actually born from the dog Harbans almost run over with his car, who appeared in a big form, according to Mr. Box in this case, in the evening, but in the morning he was just a little puppy. So the dog was bewitched by a preacher, and because people think the preacher can bewitch and use Obeya to his own power, they are afraid to vote against him on Harbans, or to vote at all. So these are the things Harbans is struggling with in Elvira to get the vote. And nowhere in the novel does either Harbans or his counterpart the preacher mention why people actually should vote for them, or what they will do when once they were elected, what their ideas are, what they want to do when they are in power. The whole democracy business is just one big facade for bribery and nepotism, and Naipaul captures this in a brilliant comedic way. I really like how our protagonist, Mr. Harbans, is used by everyone in Elvira to get some money off of him, and they somehow make it out to be they're helping him instead of the other way around. The Muslim leader Baksh is the most notorious in doing this and has to be bribed 3 times. First to get Harbans vote, or to get the Muslims to vote for Harbans, then to prevent him from changing his mind and let the Muslims vote for the preacher, and then to make Baksh actually enter the elections himself, so Harbins is assured that the Muslims won't vote for the preacher but instead for Baksh. So which will end up in Baksh getting only the Muslim vote, preacher only getting the black vote, and he himself will get the Hindu vote and thereby win the elections. This part actually reminded me of the villagers from the movie Seven Samurai. At first they seem poor, simple and ignorant and defenseless, but at the end you'll realize that they're actually cunning, selfish and relentless in their greed. They'll do whatever they can to get something off of you, although some of them are better at doing that than others. In the end, I don't think this book is a direct attack on democracy, although it does place it under a very critical light. It's more of a comedic display of the human condition, and I think we can all see the similarities with our own Western elections. As always, the future is totalitarian.